the phenomenon that Stephen Pressfield terms the resistance is going strong today for me. The force is strong. I've gotten to 9:15 without having actually, or at least I got to 9:45 without coming up with an idea for my video. And in a way, I mean, it felt bad, but now in a way it kind of has turned out kind of nice, because what it's done is it's forced me to just pick something random and decide to talk about it. And I like what I'm talking about today because it is a possession that I really like of mine. So I made this decision. Me and my partner travelled South America in like 2016, and I made this decision that from every country that we went to, I was going to buy a book. The only place that I didn't manage to was Ecuador, and that's because we just passed through on like a 24-hour coach from Peru to Colombia, I think. I can't remember. That's wild. That's 6 years ago and 7 years ago, and I can barely remember it already. Anyway, so I've continued this to now. The only place I've travelled to recently in a different country that I didn't get a book was when I went to Lyon, and it's just, I think, because it felt a bit less special getting it from France, but I still should have done it. The problem is I like to get cool books, and so I'll show you this one, and I might show you a book from each country, but this might be my favourite, or at least it's a close call. So this one is from Colombia, and it's from Cartagena, I think you pronounce it, where we went to this bookshop, but it was a bookshop and it was also a cafe, and I'll show you it now. So there's the book, and the title is Un poco triste. My pronunciation is going to be bad because I don't speak Spanish. Un poco triste, pero más feliz. Hey, go back, man. I can't. That would be okay doing the lisp on the Z, except I don't think they do that in Colombia. I think it's a Spanish thing. So un poco triste, pero más feliz que los demás, and that essentially says, thank you Google Translate, a little sad, but happier than the others. Yeah, there we go. And this book, so I looked around the coffee shop, the bookshop. So I'll paint the scene a bit. It was like 36 degrees, but we went into this place for a coffee. We'd heard about it online, and the walls were just covered with books. And I just looked around for a bit and found a couple, and then whittled them down to one. And I paid 39,000 Colombian pesos for it, and I think that's a pretty good deal because it's about £6.73 now. I'm not sure what it was in 2016, but it can't have been that much different. And so I'll show you the book. I don't really, so you can see the little heart on the front, and I don't really know what the contents of the book are yet because I haven't had a chance to learn Spanish, but it's on this, sorry, let me get a better viewing. It's on this beautiful kind of like slightly rough paper. It probably has a name, and it's just about mostly art things and cultural things, I think. And so one of the gasolina en el corazón, which is like gas in the heart, I think. So God, it's funny because it could be about something that I don't understand at all. It's got these lovely pictures illustrating everything, and each sort of chapter, if you will, is dead short. I guess in some ways it's a bit, look at that one, that's cool. And I fell in love with it straight away. I don't know what that means. Look, again, really cool illustrations, and the book is just I do judge books by their cover, and when I say the cover, I don't mean just the cover itself, I mean how the whole thing looks. So I do judge books on how they look, even though people say you shouldn't. I think often it's not always the case. So I believe this is meant to be John Lennon, and that's one of the things that sold it to me. With regard to the judging books by their cover, I believe that if a lot of effort has gone into making the book, and the taste in designing the book has been of a high quality, then it leads me to also trust that the book will be good. And it's just, isn't it, beautiful book. And some of the other books that I've got from different countries are really cool as well. Un tren a, don't know the number in Spanish, KPH. So yeah, And what do I do with these books? I mean, do you know what? There was a small. I'd said I didn't get one from Lyon when we went, and that's because I said what I said before about thinking that it wasn't as special getting it from France. That was in the picture, but also part of me thought, should I really do it? I never understand the books. I'm not going to be able to read them all. But I think I haven't been to a different country for a while now, for COVID reasons, money reasons, etc. I think I am going to resume it because I love it. And I actually think that if I revisit countries, I might get a book again, and I might even make a thing out of getting a book from each place that I go to. Maybe even towns, if the bookshops seem specific to the towns in some way. I have a great book that is, I bought it in Bolivia, and I've forgotten what the local people in Samaipata, like the original people who lived there before the Spanish Inquisition, and there is some, I guess, some of their people still there, or at least I don't know actually. I'm gonna have to look back into that. I've forgotten their names. It wasn't Quechuan, but it was similar, I think. I've got this beautiful book, and it's teaching the old language. It's like a school book, a comprehensive book for teaching this old language. I'm going to show it to you on one of these videos because it's great, and I might even do like a video on all of the books together. But things like this are cool, and I think people say souvenirs are kind of dumb, and souvenirs are kind of dumb if they're silly souvenirs. But if you get something that has a lot of meaning to you, then and it's sort of aesthetically pleasing enough for you to display it, then I think it's quite a good little hobby to do, and it reminds you of a country or a place in a different way. I'm going to leave it there because I want to go and do some reading, and I need to do a bit more prep for some of these videos so I don't end up in the same position tonight, because it is a bit stressful, even though I did look out and find something to talk about, and the pressure is good. That's what I mean. People write articles for newspapers every day, and granted some of them are shit, but they do it, so it's possible to keep doing this daily. I just, I've got a separate full-time job, which makes things hard, and all sorts of other life commitments. But you know what? I'm really enjoying doing this. I honestly am. It has made me more at peace with myself, because I feel like I'm born to be making stuff, like, as often as possible. I'm born to be creating. And something really simple, a simple idea that I thought about when I was going to grab this book and just like, I'll grab this book and just talk about it in the video. Creativity is mostly the combination of two things that already exist that have never been combined before. And guess what? Me and this book have never interacted and combined before, in the sense that I haven't talked about it. And by me applying my own unique view to the existence of this book, that is a creative act. And creative. I always make these little errors. They're quite funny, really. I should probably make like a compilation in like after 100 videos of all the little mess ups that I've done. That's a creative act. Creative acts don't have to be big, they can be small. And by doing the small ones, you are learning how to behave creatively, if you will. And you're going to get better and better at mixing those two different things in exciting ways. Right, I'll catch you tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your day, however long you've got left, and I hope you experience some kind of joy today, because I did. And yes, of course, it was Stanley and family related. Catch you later. Bye bye.